Yeah.
Welcome to Woman Crush Every Day.
What
I'm
up, though?
Tang.
I'm Al Wu. What up, though?
What up? And we are going to talk about the final episode of Twenties by Lena Waithe on BET.
Yeah.
Episode 8.
Episode 8. We made it.
We made it. That was a fun ride. All right, so let's get into the episode and talk about Hattie opening up with being at the production studios of, what's the name of the production studio?
You Go Girl.
You Go Girl Productions to work on Coco's Butter. And when we open up, Hattie is doing some things around the office for Ida B. Meanwhile, Ida B is sitting up on the desk with a wrap dress on, leg propped up, looking very snackish.
Yeah.
And it's making Hattie nervous. And there were like some golden moments there. I know it was cracking you up.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. She was definitely Ida B was putting the move on Hattie in this scene, and it was kind of like as foreshadowed earlier in the season that at some point Ida B is going to be some weird sort of sexual tension, and then that's going to cause the intern or whatever, like Hattie's person, to break down, and then she's gonna let her go. So Hattie is in this sequence, or in this scene. She's like, I'm not falling for it. I see you look great and all that good stuff, but I am not going to indulge in your shenanigans right now. And then we realize this is a dream. This is Ida B's dream.
This is Ida B's dream.
Ida B is having this fantasy of Hattie coming in and taking her down in her office. I love it.
I loved it too.
I live.
It was a shock. I live. It was such a shock that it was Ida B. Not really. We've been able to tell over the course of the season that she definitely has an interest and a crush on Hattie. But I thought this was just like the game she plays. And I still don't know if this is like the game she plays. But there are real feelings behind this game, no matter what. That was great. That was everything. So then we go to Hattie being with her friends Marie and Nia. And I just have to say, every week, Nia just looked finer and finer.
Nia.
She's so fun.
Jeez. And her skin regimen, whatever that is 10 out of 10.
Everything.
I need to know the secret.
Her hairstyles be on it.
Yeah.
Just that ponytail. Let me stop. Anyway.
So we're sitting with, we're at like lunchtime or whatever. We've got the friends together just going over things. And apparently, Hattie had asked them to read her script. So they're just talking about the script. And Marie is like, I wish you had said that you had feelings for me and all this extra stuff. And it was funny because Hattie's like, no, I don't have feelings for you. But while I guess Marie had read the same script, reached the same conclusion that Hattie is writing about her, and she's like, yeah, I know you had a crush on me. And I don't know, that was interesting that both of Hattie's friends think that Hattie has crushes on them. Yeah. And they were actually kind of like pressing the issue, like, okay.
They were hella offended to find out that she wasn't crushing on them. Like, they were like, that can't be true.
I feel like, is that like a straight girl thing? Is that like straight girls who have gay friends? Yes. They automatically feel like, you like me. And it's like, I don't like you. Like, you're legit my friend. And that's how I see you. That's how I think of you.
Yeah, no, I think that definitely is a straight girl thing of thinking like, well, you like women I'm a woman. You must like me.
Yeah. It's like there's so many women in the world. It's not just you, bro. Like, not just you.
No.
But
But I thought that was cute, and then Nia grabbing her hand and being like, I just felt chemistry there. It's there.
you know what? I'm open to it though. Like, if she wants to participate in action with those friends, I will be down. um, but I think it was kind of cool though to show that the friends are comfortable, I guess, that they're not like particularly rigid around that. They're not romantically attracted to each other. They are just friends, but the fact that they can even engage in ways that's like, I see you and, and I'm not offended. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's healthy.
I think that was healthy. I also think it's BS though that they didn't finish reading her script. They
they
read
did.
it, assumed it was about them, and then didn't finish it. And pretty much their feedback was like, "You need to chop this up. This is too long. If it's not about me, I'm not interested anymore."
Yeah.
Which I feel that, because I think that's how I feel about shows that have no queer characters. Is like, what are you going to do to sustain my attention? Because I don't care right now.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little mirror moment. So Hattie ends up getting Nia pretty much an audition to be a character on Coco's Butter. And, they just kind of shit all over Detroit for this.
Right? They spent way too much time shitting on Detroit in this episode. So whatever, maybe they know somebody who in Detroit that they don't like.
Right? It's somebody's ex-girlfriend.
But I'm like, y'all gonna stop bagging on my city right now. But yeah, so not Marie. Nia's character is auditioning for Victoria something. I don't know. Valencia, some V name.
Valentina.
Character. Thank you. Valentina. Nia is auditioning for the role of Valentina on Ida B's show, Coco's Butter.
Yeah.
And in this scene, we're watching Nia doing her audition thing. They have the camera set up and the panel of people watching her. Hattie is here and Nia's auditioning. So she's doing her thing or whatever, and she just can't get it right. She's like, I'm sorry, these lines aren't what I had. What's the deal?
Because they changed the script up on her.
Yeah, they gave her a different script, and she's like, I'm just not prepared for this. We're like, well, all right, go ahead and pick a monologue. So she does. And the monologue that she starts reciting is actually a piece from Ida B's Ghost Lullaby script. And how did she get Ghost Lullaby? Well, our friend Hattie passed it on to after she swiped it from her home.
Stole that bitch.
Gave it to her friend Nia. Now Nia is quoting the stolen script and to the person who wrote it and knows that, obviously you should. The only person who knows this is Ida B. So
and it's about the adoption that Ida B actually had.
Yeah. So, they're like, okay, that was great. Then Ida B is like, Hattie, you need to come outside with me. Let's rap. She's like, okay. Yeah, no. In fact, you're not gonna do that shit. Pack your shit. Get the fuck out. She didn't say it like that at all, but essentially she gets fired for having taken her script and obviously broken her trust. And boom, that's it. Now we're fired.
Now we're fired. So Hattie packs up her things, and it looked like she left the script that she wrote. I think it's Sienna Blue. And left it on Ida B's desk. And then she goes to the coffee shop where Idina is at, and she's thinking she's gonna forge a friendship with Adina. And homegirl is like, oh, you trying to Netflix and chill? And Hattie's like, no, I mean, I'm just trying to be friends because, you know, we're alike. And Idina was like, I'm not going for it at all. And she says my favorite line, which I don't know if I should just read it now or wait for later, but I'm going to just read it now. She says, I know you see me out in the world with my locks and baggy clothes, but you have no idea what I'm like behind closed doors. Mic drop.
Yo, yeah, I think this was such a meaningful scene, and I think overall this is my favorite episode of the season. I'm just like, oh my god, and that's how you write a season. That's how you do it. Either way, yeah, this scene, I'm like, I've been here. I know what that's like. And I think I love this was portrayed because so often in the queer community, like, folks feel like you have to play your role. You know, like, even though you're in a woman-loving woman relationship, there's a man or there's a woman, and I think, one, there's obviously not a man and a woman in a same-sex relationship.
That's the whole fucking point.
Yeah, but some people really do respond to that kind of socialization in particular ways, and obviously Hattie is really affected by that concept, where it's like there's a masculine presenting person and there's a feminine presenting person, and you can tell, you know, how they are sexually based on how they look and how they present themselves. And to have Idina come in and shatter that whole concept and say, no, I don't follow those rules. I think that's super, super important. And I think a lot of people feel like they have to fit into those rules. So to see a character who is just putting it out there, like, no, I don't think the world has to work that way, is really dope. I think that's really, really fire.
Super, super dope. I feel like, yeah, just to add to that, like, speaking on that stud for stud conversation, aggressive for aggressive conversation, where people are like, no, that's actually gay. And it's like, what? Are you using, like, gay to say that you can't be, like, that gay? Like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Then it also brings up, like, why Hattie has had all these failed relationships, because she keeps hitting on these straight women who, like, buy into that idea. And Lorraine was totally more aggressive, more of a top than Hattie ever was, and didn't end up giving Hattie anything that she actually wanted.
Yeah. Spit. I love how you broke that down. That was, like, excellent. yes, absolutely. Yeah, so just even putting all of those elements and, like, seeing the whole, not the whole world, but a larger picture of what, like, the lesbian community and kind of, like, conflicts and what the way that happens on this smaller scale. I think it was really cool to throw that in there and just kind of work it in ever so, like, slightly. I hope that we do continue to see Idina in the next season. I hope that she's not just a wing woman, but I feel like she kind of has to be. But
I mean, that's where Hattie kind of put her.
Yeah, she kind of has to be. I think she's over Hattie as a person. She's really given her everything and laid out so much game and just been so vulnerable with her. So I think she's over it.
Yeah.
Here's the conversation, like, actually, bitch, died. I'm good.
Like, and she's like, I already have friends, which is, I think Hattie's whole issue is, like, your friends are straight women who already have assumed that you have a crush on them because that's what you do. And I wonder what Hattie, I mean, this is, like, my whole thing of, like, why queer community is so important. Not that all of your friends have to be queer, but if you have nobody that is a sounding board for your dumbass ideas to say, actually, that won't hit, you know, it's really hard to navigate the world. And so just, yeah, Idina has her friends. She knows who she is. She's comfortable with herself. and Hattie lives in straight world and hasn't really explored what she needs. And I feel like with Ida B, she just might get dragged further into the muck. But I'm still for it because Ida B fine.
Yeah, like I really do kind of love a cougar. Like, so, like, yes, take me down, please.
Yeah.
Like, can I have a Hattie? I mean, an Ida B in my life? Come do it. Come do it to me. Ravage me. um, um, yeah, there was something else I was gonna say. Now I'm drawing a blank, and I'm upset because I'm thinking about Ida B finance. Um, okay, whatever. Well, it'll probably come back at some point. So let's keep pushing.
Yeah.
The next scene, are we in
We're at the
Marie's
birthday
party?
Yeah.
All right, so ta-da, it's Marie's birthday and we are at the party. She is there with Chuck, and Chuck's parents come in, who are Vanessa Williams and Rick Fox, which is hilarious. So I'm like, okay, of course these two would be his parents. This is light-skinned family reunion. It's just the Lord. All right, so they come in, everything's cool, they hit it off well. Not too much later, Marie's mom crashes the party. Now, if you remember Marie's mom, she is a gambling addict, constantly asking Marie for money. Marie is indulging and just trying to get her mom off her line, but you know, she knows her mom's a fucking handful. She hasn't been the world's best mom. So boom. Marie's mom, she's there, and she obviously wasn't invited. There aren't enough chairs for her, and they just keep rolling with the punches, like, okay, well, we're gonna bring the chair up, you know, and not act weird about it. So then they start doing toasts, right?
Yes, it's like a toast off, like a competitive toasting session.
Yeah, so Hattie starts off, one, announcing that she did lose her job today, and thanks Marie for allowing her to stay on her couch and all that stuff. And what else did she say? I don't know.
I'll still be on your couch because I have nowhere to go. Like, I think there was a happy birthday thrown in there, but it wasn't a good toast at all. It was like, I'm a bum, I'm gonna keep being a bum, so good looking out.
Yeah, and happy birthday, bitch. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool, friend, thanks. Then it's Mia's turn. Mia, we find out they met in college, and she's been cleaning her chakras since college, and they've been friends since then. And then
that sounded so sexual to me. I don't know. My hope for Nia.
Yo, yeah.
What if I did came in and like tore Nia down? Just was like, that's Bae now.
Plot twist. Plot twist. Shoot. I might love that show. Actually, maybe make a spinoff. You know, 30s. I don't know.
Yes, please.
We do that next. Either way, the mama comes in and says she ain't shit. This is her toast, and the only thing that's good about her is Marie. And then Marie notices that her mom is wearing the purse that she was just gifted by Chuck's parents. So the mom is back on her theft, shit. Womp, swiper.
Yeah.
And we had that. So then Chuck comes around and starts singing John Legend's All of Me, which is hilarious. They're keeping this light skin train rolling. And actually, it's beautiful though, because I was like, okay, Chuck can sing. That's cute. When did they find out that he could sing and say, like, you know what, we want you to sing John Legend?
Yeah.
So either way, he proposes. Long story short, he gets on one knee, and she looks a little like, dun dun dun. I don't know, what's the answer gonna be?
Because she knows what her answer should be. It should have been no.
Yeah, we've been seeing them struggle, lightweight. You know, she thinks he's gay, and she's also cheating on him, or at least I don't know how much sex she's having with
Her
who's the white
boss.
guy that she works with?
I don't remember his name.
He looks like a Matt, but I don't think that's his name.
It might be
Uh,
so.
or like a Jake. Either way, um, yeah, she's in this like weird sort of flirty thing with him. We've been watching that kind of develop over the past few episodes. So, oh, and in fact, he brought in, we forgot to mention that he brought her a gift earlier
Yeah.
today. It was like a signed Raven Wilkinson thing or program. She's like the ballet dancer that she spoke about and is in love with. So he
That's
brought
right.
her this really well thought of gift, and
Yeah.
there's that. So let's fast forward back into this scene where he's where Chuck is proposing. So she agrees and obviously has reasons not to. And then there's that. Afterwards, Hattie approaches her about it and is like, "Was really good. Aren't you like super stoked and shit?"
Yeah.
And she's offended that Hattie would even bring it up and say, like, bitch, being in a relationship is hard work. You wouldn't know shit about hard work because you're a bum. Essentially, that's what she says. And Hattie's like, all right, I gotta leave. So there's that. She leaves. She goes home.
Yeah.
And when she goes home, there's somebody on her porch. None other than the one and only Ida B. Ida B. Fine ass sitting on her porch. Hattie's like, wait, what? What's going on right now? And I don't even think she talks. I don't even think Ida B talks.
If she said words, I didn't hear them.
I didn't remember them. She goes and they come together in the moonlight and start busting slobs. And then the
Why do you have to say busting slobs?
How do you want me to say it? What should I say?
They kiss.
They kissed romantically, and it was very intense and beautiful. Then it goes to this aerial shot, and then they rise above them, and then we see them, and then we see the city, and then that's it. And we wonder what happened with Hattie and Ida B.
Yeah, was Ida B holding Hattie's script?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. It was so much. I was like, oh my God, she's sitting there on the porch. She's crying. I'm like, oh my God, Ida B has real feelings. And then when they kissed, it just all became a blur. I just was like mouth agape watching like, It happened for real on TV. Like, two women kissing who are actually into each other. Two Black women kissing who are actually into each other.
It was a beautiful thing, but true story, I have no faith in Ida B. Like, no. I think Ida B, and by next season, we're going to see her just like, no, I think you're really attractive. I think you're great, yada, yada, but you can't work for me, and I'm not going to do this with you. For some reason, I just feel like
they are totally not on the same level at all. It's probably not going to work out, but I think it could be a nice, I don't know, it's probably more of the same of what Hattie has already been doing, is being with like powerful women who don't actually have care enough for her to move her forward.
Yeah.
Sad face.
Yeah, Hattie's really got to tap into love herself. Oh, we also didn't mention the scene where we meet Nia's dad.
Yeah.
And, so Nia's dad is a doctor. We find out she's West Indian, and the relationship that Nia has with her dad is, they seemingly really healthy, and everybody's kind of happy. And Hattie is kind of jealous of that, like, I don't have a dad. And
yeah, I mean, I think that first of all, like, Hattie not having a great relationship with her parents, like not really having a relationship where they really understand each other, and then Marie too with her mom, and then Nia being from the West Indies and how that is a totally different relationship brings up to me like that difference in the cultural experiences of Black people who have been, their families have been in America for a long amount of time versus Black people who come from other areas, who come from other countries, and that there is a difference. There is a difference in how families relate to one another and how education is brought in. And I think that's like a conversation that could be more deeply explored, and it seems like it's only really explored at the academic level. It's never explored in like the everyday conversation and how those nuances really affect our relationships. But then also I feel like it's a thing in queer community that your relationship with your parents is super vital, but often missing the mark. I won't want to say that that's necessarily my own experience, but I know that for many people that I know in the community, like that disconnect between parents and feeling like you don't, that one person, your mom, that you feel like you should be able to go to and talk about all of those things relationally, career-wise, that you should be able to relate on. It's not always the case. And when I notice, like when Hattie is talking to her mom, they're rarely ever talking about Hattie. It's about everything else that's going on in the mom's world. Yeah, I don't know if you have more to say.
No, I think honestly that was a brilliant analysis of that, and I'm thinking of how those characters were written to in having friends who aren't African descendants of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's a totally different, these folks grew up with a very different sort of mindset. And yeah, I don't think that it's talked about enough. And I don't even think that it was, I mean, it was presented here, but not really explored
right
here. That's just kind of one of those layers. But I appreciate the layers. I do appreciate the layers of the show.
Yeah. I liked how they're not kind of directly attacking issues necessarily. They're talking around them, but not in a way where they're ignoring them, but they're just like, you know, it's kind of like the what do they call it? It's like the parenthetical, where if you're speaking to an audience who doesn't live this experience, then you have to like really flesh the conversation out. But if you're speaking to an audience where it's like, yeah, this is what y'all go through, this is what happens, then you don't have to poke the bear so hard. You can just drop the subtlety and everybody is like, yeah, we know that. We know where you're at. And I appreciate how Lena Waithe has pushed the show in the direction of, this is for y'all. This is not for, you know, white people's gaze and let's catch them up and make them understand why things are frustrating, or, you know, this is for, you know, just straight women and we're trying to give them a lens into the queer world. It's just like, no, this is for y'all. This is for who is watching the show. And I just feel like that is so rarely achieved on shows that are for Black women and for Black queer women. It's just like, praise. Thank you, Lena.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
So I can't wait till next season.
Oh my God, I'm excited now. I'm so excited. 9, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the season, and what else you might be watching.
Yes. Thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time. Also, there's new music coming out from Wu soon. Oh, yes. Love the plug. New music. Follow me on Spotify, ALWU. And yeah, you're going to hear all the new drops from the Untied Project, and everything's for sale. So let's get into it.
Absolutely. And while you're waiting on new episodes to come out, I think y'all should try out Love at First Bite. It's a really cool show. And so if you're waiting to see what restaurant you want to go to when this lockdown quarantine is over, check it out. I think you'll be really excited, especially if you're in the Detroit area. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Until next time.
Until next time. Peace, y'all.
Peace.